We're at the Air Disaster Memorial at Fairbairn Pines. So we're going to actually walk in, check out the site. I'll just read from the sign because it's easier than trying to remember. So it was a RAF Lockheed Hudson, and it actually crashed just north of here on the 13th of August 1940, and sadly there were no survivors. There was Commonwealth ministers, Chief of General Staff were on board, and the 4 air crew. So when they were coming in, not 100% sure, I think there was storms and cloud and inclement weather. So when they came in, they they crashed over here. Those that didn't die in the crash, the actual ensuring fireball that followed engulfed them all. So we're going to go up to the memorial, and we're going to pay our condolences, as well as just do some little bit of investigation. I've got my torch.
I've got my headlamp. I've got my backpack, and as you probably have noticed, I've actually put my jacket on just in case.
I've got my trusty knife.
Yep.
Just in case. And I've got my ghost busting stuff in the backpack, and we'll show you that when we get there.
Alrighty. And we've left Digger. We've left Digger up here.
I'll just double check him.
We're in the middle of nowhere. Well, not in the middle of nowhere. We're on the side of this road in Canberra, and near the forest. So we've got to go in. It's I don't know. It's a pretty busy road. The forest.
I feel like I'm back in the military.
You're back in the military?
Battle belt on.
Oh god. Well, you know what? If there's anything lurking in front of Digger, we can get it on the dash cam. Alrighty. What's the time, Mr. B?
8:15.
Alright, so let's chuck it. 8:15. And we're heading into the forest. Woo.
Got my knife.
Hey? Got your knife.
Watch it. Oh.
Wow. Prior preparation prevents a performance.
Poor performance. So it's just on dusk. We're walking in now. Mrs. B is going to keep her eagle ears out.
I am.
For anything that I can't hear.
I actually really love it this time of the night. There's just something about it. It's just like the forest and the noises. It's really nice. It feels like it's gone really still as well.
Walk this way.
Yep.
Come back the other way.
Okay. It's feeling really still all of a sudden, isn't it?
Yep.
That wind's really dropped down.
Cross there and then up. There you go. There he is.
I don't know if there's another one over there next to it. He might come.
Down here. Oh, heavens.
So we've seen a fair few kangaroos, and we've seen a few rabbits. So this fence line's part of the military base, Mr. B?
Yep.
Oh, there you go.
It's actually it's a training area. It has a sign down the bottom saying that there could be unexploded ordnance here, and if you do find anything on that side of the fence, even on this side of the fence, you should never pick anything up that looks like a UXO or unexploded ordnance. That includes flares or anything like that, because you don't know the state of them, and some of them could have had a malfunction. As soon as you pick it up, they could go off. So just a reminder, when you're around military areas, places like this, do not pick up anything that you don't know.
I've actually taken my jacket off. It's that hot. we were actually thinking like
Still 29 degrees though.
tonight was actually meant to get quite cool quite fast, but it's actually still sitting at around about 29, which is really unusual. But I think it's because we had so much cloud cover today, it's actually really kept the heat in. So
Yeah,
I've stripped my jacket off.
And we did have like you told them earlier,
Yeah.
a heat wave warning.
Yeah, that was earlier. Well, I think when we set off it was, you know, give or take mid-morning, because then we stopped for lunch and stuff. So yeah, I definitely think that the heat's been trapped under the clouds. So it's making it probably a little bit more enjoyable than being freezing cold.
Yeah, last night it was very windy and very cold very early.
Yeah, true. We've just made our way to cut into the actual forest, and it's probably going to be around about, I reckon, 100 metres from here.
It's quite dark in here.
Yeah, it's so still. We've not heard a single bird or
I think we can actually cut back through that way
anything. We've only seen the kangaroos.
on the way back. So I know.
Oh well.
What can be scary?
Oh dear. What's the worst that can happen? We get lost in the forest, right?
Die.
Don't say that.
That's the worst that can happen.
Yeah.
Just go straight to death, babe.
Oh my god.
Worst that can happen, die. Best thing that can happen, you get back to Digger.
Yeah.
Second worst thing, Digger's not there when we get back.
Oh gosh. Oh my goodness. We're so close now. So close.
I know some of you may think you guys are crazy walking through the bush in the middle of the night.
Well, it's not the middle of the night.
Well, beginning of the night, you know, it's pitch black out here. There's just the two of you. It's a bit of mind over matter, I think, sometimes.
Yeah.
If you let the forest and the darkness engulf you, it starts to play a little bit on your mind. I've been to a lot of military operations where it's been pitch black, and sometimes you've just got to not let your mind wander, keep your mind occupied. I've been on an exercise where the entire section left me behind in the bush, and I was by myself with no one else for about 20 kilometres, and I had to make my way back in the pitch black.
There it is.
So there was 10 crew members. There were 4 crew and 6 passengers. They were heading to the Commonwealth Ministers and the Chief of Staff from Melbourne to attend a cabinet meeting. I'll see if I can say how it actually happened. It did say the thing I was reading that was to do with the weather. So there was a brigadier, the Honourable James Fairbairn member, Sir Henry Gullett, he was the Vice President of the Executive Council, General Blundells, Lieutenant Colonel Thornwaite, Mr. Elford, Flight Lieutenant Hitchcock, Pilot Officer Wisner, Corporal Palmer and Aircraft Class 1 Crosdale. But we're here not to disrespect anything. As most of you know, I'm pretty much a military. I like to go and do the history and stuff of things, and I never go there with the sense of being derogatory, condescending or anything like that. Most of the time I come and it's basically to pay my respects and condolences. Tonight though, we just want to come here, and we did hear that there are some paranormal, not just with the crash. There was supposedly a young girl that was murdered up here as well, and some people have actually heard her screams and stuff like that. So just going to hang around for a little bit, just be quiet. 13th of August 1940. There was a big plane crash here. A military aircraft went down with 10 people on board. Those that didn't die in the crash died from the fire. We're just here to hear your story. We're not here to harm you. My name's Dave, and my wife's name's Amanda.
Robbery.
Was someone robbed up here? If you could show your presence, I have a green device over there that's flashing lights. I also have these things called cat balls. I will show them to you. She say please go?
Yep.
Why would you like us to leave? Am I scaring you? Do not many people come here and you're afraid of us? Are you near? Because I've just got a tingly cold feeling over me. Like I said, if you can show me you're here, tell me your name or...
Up here.
I know this isn't the exact crash site precisely. I know it's about 20 or 30 metres out from where the actual crash was. But if you can light up those little balls, I'll get Mrs. B. She'll touch one and she'll show you what it does. When you touch that, it will light up. You just got to move it.
He's touching you.
That's what it will do. If you can touch one to let us know that you're here.
So we're just running the Ghost Tube app through my phone. You can probably actually hear the planes flying over because literally the airport is probably, how far away from us, Mr. B? The airport, not far.
Airport, about 2 kilometres if that. If you're behind me, make yourself known. Can you tell me what your name is? Are you one of the crew of the plane that crashed? Or are you the girl that was murdered that up here?
Flames. Flames.
Flame.
Flames from the fire.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. I know the flame, there was a big fireball after the incident, and the personnel that didn't die in the actual crash died in the actual flames and fire afterwards. Are you able to tell me your name, please?
Shovel.
Ah. Well, the girl was buried up here.
Oh, okay.
Are you able to let me know? I know you did say flames, and that sort of leads me to think that you're part of the air crew, but then the shovel makes me think that you may have been the girl that was up here. I'm going to get my little device over here. I'm going to put it on this log over here. If you could come and touch it for me, that would be greatly appreciated. It'll just let me know that you're here and let me know that I'm actually talking to someone.
Monster.
Monster.
Monster. Yes, the guy that was up here that killed the girl, he was a monster. He was a very, very bad person. There's no need to be afraid anymore. No monsters are going to come tonight.
Who is she?
Who is she? Who is she?
Uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable.
What's making you uncomfortable? Please. Low. You're feeling low, are you? We've got 5 more minutes and then we're going to go. I'm going to leave the torch off for a little bit. So if you'd like to come touch one of those balls, you'd like to touch the machine up there, that would be great.
We're quite surprised that the EMF hasn't registered at all. I feel like the ghost tube has definitely said a few words relevant. And did you have a, like when we first were over there?
Closer.
Look closer.
Lady of the night.
Wow.
Excuse me.
Okay. If you are here and you are the lady of the night, could you possibly show us something by moving the cat balls?
Does this light remind you of a lady of the night?
That was an interesting one.
But it is weird that the EMF has not. It's
No.
on the right setting too. I've checked it.
Well, from our last investigation we did, it was quite active. So it's definitely just not picking up anything. But that's okay.
That is okay.
It is so still here, other than the odd bug.
Okay, we're going to get ready to go. I'm going to start packing up some of my stuff. I'm going to leave the cat balls out for a couple more minutes. If you'd like to touch them or the EMF reader, I might keep the EMF reader on while we're walking back and see if we pick up anything else in the forest.
I can't hear you.
Oh, you can hear us. Okay. Is there anything you'd like to tell us if you can hear us? We'd like to know anything that you'd like to share with us.
I'd like to know that you're at peace now. You could possibly cross over. I know
Not
some.
even close. Watching you.
Not even close, watching you.
You're watching me? Okay.
Come forward.
Come forward.
I'm going to turn my light on so I don't trip over. Are you in front of me? You hiding in the forest?
Not even close.
Not even close.
Yeah. Okay, well thank you for chatting. We're going to pack up now. And we're going to head back. Thank you for sharing with us. We're going to head off now. Maybe we'll come back another time.
Well, we've just about made it back. That was probably just under 2 hours, I reckon, wasn't it, Mr. B? Just under, I reckon.
Yep.
So we made it back. We heard a few noises in the bushes.
Yeah.
We saw a few critters. But overall, I'm going to say it was pretty good. We
Yeah.
just got to see that the digger's still parked on the side of the road.
I'm not going to say there was something out there. I'm not going to say there wasn't. There was a couple of words that came through on Ghost Tube that were pertinent. but then there was a lot of stuff that just didn't seem to make a lot of sense either. So,
I agree. And the EMF reader really had no results at all tonight.
None at all, and
no movement from the cat balls.
No movement from the cat balls. So as soon as you touch them, they will start to flash bright colours.
Yeah.
But at the Pilliga, I didn't have the EMF reader at Balangai.
No, we didn't.
But
we didn't use
at
that one.
Scone, I had a lot.
Yeah, that was definitely a lot there.
And also at Dubbo.
Yes, we did.
We had a lot of reading on the EMF. So I don't know. You know, there's the 10 military and civilians up here, and then there's a young girl that was murdered up here, and people have said they've heard screams and stuff like that. And when the road used to be open and you could go up there, people would have cars just automatically stop, lights turn off, the radio on the car not working. And then there's a story that 3 young girls came up here one night. They got out of the car, but they left their high beams on. They left the car running, and then they heard the scream of a girl. Then the car just died. They jumped back in the car and wouldn't start for about 10 minutes, and all they could hear was this girl screaming. And then the car started and they drove off. But, you know, is it someone playing a prank? People come out here and play stupid games and stuff like that. So
Play stupid games?
win stupid prizes.
Stupid prizes. We've just made our way to the second investigation site that we're actually doing tonight, which is called Blundells Cottage.
Yes.
Whereabouts is the exact location? I know we are pretty much in the city of Canberra.
We're just down to the east side of Lake George, just below Anzac Parade. So Blundells Cottage has been here before the lake was actually built. It was just a creek.
Success.
We've just got Ghost Tube on at the same time.
And the actual cottage was
I told her.
Okay.
it was originally built by the owners for the caretaker that was here, and then after that happened, the actual Blundells moved in here and lived in here for ages. Now, there is a story that a young girl was here.
Flora was her name.
Flora, she was wearing flannel pajamas, and she was near a hot iron, and the actual iron set her flannel pajamas on fire and she burnt to death. Now, the story is that she will move stuff around the cottage overnight to different rooms, and sometimes you will actually smell burning flesh. So we're just here tonight. I have had a couple of comments saying disrespectful and come back. Told them that we weren't being disrespectful and we couldn't come back because Blundells Cottage is only open on a Saturday between 10 and 2. It's free entry for anyone that wants to come.
And that's when it is said that the volunteers here at the museum have had on a regular basis strange things, if you want to call it, happen in the cottage. The other thing that I thought was really interesting, as Mr. B said about the burning flesh smell, that seems to come come through when it's said to, like, somebody is wearing a necklace, because evidently when Flora unfortunately burnt to her death, she was wearing a necklace. So people have said if they've been wearing a necklace, they actually feel quite hot and they smell the smell. So.
Yeah, but the volunteers also say they have this weird feeling that anywhere they go in the cottage that they're being watched, and as soon as they walk outside the cottage, that feeling goes away. I don't know whether that's because they know the story and that, but like I said tonight,
I'm not from here.
We're not from here. Okay. But like I said earlier, when we were up at the Air Memorial crash site, I had no feelings that I was being watched. I didn't have any cold tingles down the back of my spine. It felt like it was daytime. It wasn't like scary at all. But like, you know, some of other places we've been, Scone.
Hair standing on the back of your neck.
Yep, something touched me on the back of my neck, and when we moved towards the building, it said demonic. What was the other word? It was like it was going to appear.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was.
Yeah.
But we legged it then.
It basically said demonic and something else, and I said,
legged it.
I said, yeah, I'm not going to do that. And we spoke to our friends who are right into this, and they said, yeah, that was probably a good idea not to do that.
So this area, getting back to you guys not knowing this area, it is, I'm going to say, in quite a busier area in Canberra, and it's quite lit up because it's such a beautiful refurbished cottage. It looks absolutely stunning. There are a lot of lights on which don't turn off. Yeah, we might
This is probably to do with a bit of security and stuff like that as well.
Yeah. I sort of was peeping through the windows, and it looks absolutely beautiful in there. I saw a baby's bassinet, an old wrought iron bassinet, and then there was a bedroom. So I'm sure that perhaps, you know, they've had furniture from that era as well. So yeah, we might just sit for a little bit and see if anything comes through.
Sometimes you don't get anything.
Yeah.
So a lot of the thing with the ghost tube is you have to put it into contextual of what's happening at the moment. So sometimes, like, I'm not sure. There's no real answer to that. But we always try to debug what it's saying. But then you'll get specific words that are pertinent to us.
Oh, absolutely. Yep.
Specifically.
Yep.
Which is a bit freaky. But most of come back. So whoever's talking to us has asked us to come back a couple of times. I said I can't come back because we're not going to be here on Saturday. Maybe Flora's only inside the building and she's wanting us to come back so that we can actually go inside the building. We might move around a little bit because we went to the dark side just because it's not so well lit up and that. We just thought it may be a little bit more.
It's absolutely beautiful, but so nice. Alrighty, let's do that.
Okay, we'll just sit here for a little bit and then we'll move on.
I'm right here.
Where are you? Right here. Are you in front or behind me?
Be quiet.
Oh, she said be quiet.
Well, I was knocking on the door. I was actually tapping on the door.
Yeah, I heard you and she told you to be quiet. She's not going to knock on the door anymore. Could you hear her knocking on the door? As soon as you started knocking, she said be quiet. She didn't like it when you knocked the first time. She told you to be quiet. And when you knocked on the window, she said stop it.
So I actually used the door stopper that was on the door the first time. But that was quite interesting because I actually did it a couple of times and then we got a response.
Yeah, but as soon as you started knocking, she said be quiet after your second knock, and then when you knocked on the window, she said stop it. Or I don't know who it is because
I told her, shoo.
You like me knocking on the door?
I'm ill.
Oh, well.
Looking for me.
Yeah, we are looking for you. Are you in the cottage now? Can I look through the window and see you maybe? At the front window.
Please go.
please go. So that was a bit interesting. I don't know whether it got captured. When Amanda was knocking on the door, it said, "Be quiet." And then when she tapped on the window, it said, "Stop it." And then when Amanda started talking, it told her to be quiet and shoo.
I definitely feel that Flora was there. Definitely. When I was peeping through the last window and I tapped on it, I literally, and it's still about 28 degrees.
Yeah.
It's warm. I literally had goosebumps down both of my arms. The hairs were standing up, and I just had like sort of like little pins and needles down my legs. And I'm not just making that up.
That's probably just energy.
But yeah, it was actually interesting peering through the windows.
When you knocked on the back door though,
Yeah.
I said, "Can you hear Amanda knocking on it?" And she said, "Not really,
Yeah.
but I'm in the dark."
Okay.
So whether, because the
Yeah.
house is like pitch black.
Yeah. Well, there is, I think, from what I could see on that side near that door, it looked quite dark. But on this side where you were sitting, through those windows, you could see a little bit of light because I could see the furniture.
Yeah.
So I'm actually going to say that possibly Flora was here and we did have a slight interaction. So
Maybe.
that was pretty cool. But take it however, guys. I think we're going to wrap tonight up.
Yep.
We've done probably another good hour and a half here.
Yeah.
So it's cracking on to nearly midnight.
Yeah.
I think we're going to call it quits.
Yep.
We've done enough tonight. So I think on that note, Mr. B.
Go on adventures. Have fun. Please always remember, when you're out there, be safe. And remember, spooky isn't always spooky.
No, it's not. But I hope you enjoyed it. See you next episode, guys.
Okay.
Who knows where we're going to be and what we're going to be doing.